And this is why. So you can see, sorry my friend, the original HUON pine, it's been stressed for whatever reason, whether it was the washing of the dirt away with the waves back then, disturbance, who knows. So it sends up another one, and another one, and keeps going. And you'll notice that it'll just start heading back to the water. So after about 10,000 years, they'll date the HUON pine up there at about 10,000 years.
10,000 years.
This original one back here that probably passed away. So that's why we need to be very cautious of fire.
The oldest
Because you might think
tree.
a bit of fire will go through here. Right, it's just burned down a few
3,000
trees. But you might be,
years.
that fire might burn out a whole
The
genetic
most
link,
high
because it's
protected
only one tree. So
place
that's why
in
we like to
Tasmania.
highly protect the HUON pines,
Highly
as well
protect.
as the pencil pines
Yes.
as well. They're both in the same category with excuse me, clonings. Yeah, so if you do have any questions or queries whatsoever, please feel free to ask me. If I can't answer you, I'll blatantly lie. And also, if you need an extra story or a bit more info, my husband says that I'm really full of information, but he doesn't quite put it like that. Now, if you like, I can actually show you the myrtle and the celery top pine too, if you like. I've probably got just enough time to squeeze it in.
Yeah, keep continue.
Yes, of course. So shoe roads, they were basically built for draft horses to get in inaccessible areas, and they were a dip made in usually very sandy, boggy areas. They lined them with a lot of the tea trees or Melaleucas lectospermums, and it was to protect the horse's feet. But also what the draft horses used to have was a shoe. Let's just hypothetically say this is a log, and it's a massive big bit of steel that covers a part of the log to make it slip. So this bit of the log here doesn't get bogged into the ground, it'll slip a lot easier.
And that was called the shoe.
Yeah.
So
shoe.
that's the name shoe road.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the chains that the shoe would have been on the back of the horse.
I gotcha.
So that would stop this bit of the log on the ground digging in.
Okay.
And yeah,
Thank you.
that's okay. There should be one at the mill when you get there too to have a good look at one.
Okay.
Fascinating stuff. You can still see some of the original shoe roads if you're in a plane or a helicopter. The Frenchman Cap shoe road is still there, visible if you look over the top.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were that well made back then.
So I'm assuming they went very wide.
Horse,
About the width of the
horse
horse. and
width,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of the logs would have been roughly about that. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay. We'll zip around the corner. I've got to at least show you the celery top pine, if not anything else. I notice even though we've had rain in here, it's very, very quiet. Usually we've got frogs going on.
It is more to come. More information.
This morning sunning themselves. Because also we usually get a lot of birds through here too. They canoodle in here, then go out and nest and raise the young when there's food, normal food. Well, I've got just enough time. I'll talk really quick. Now, my friends, you would have
The
heard
boat is
in
schooling
Tasmania
us.
that we have what we call a man fern. Now, that's not political correctness gone mad by any means. The man fern can get over 2 feet wide and over 20 feet high. The man fern's botanical name is actually Dicksonia antarctica, which shows you the genetic link is much closer back to Antarctica than it is here in Tasmania or New Zealand. Although the man fern, there is a few dotty spotty areas on the mainland of Australia and also in New Zealand. But usually where you get the man ferns, and I'm surprised there's not more in here, where you get this big banger behind us. And this is the dominant species of cool temperate rainforest, which is one of the beach species, the myrtles. Now this one is Cunninghami, and all the new growth on it gets that gorgeous autumn colour. Now it's Gunnii at Mountfield National Park, St Clair, Lake St Clair. I've gone blank today. Cradle Mountain, a few other places on the mainland of Australia. and New Zealand, we get the gunnii, which is the deciduous one. Now, for those of you into botany, you would already know that we only have 5 deciduous trees, native trees, in the whole of Australia. So the myrtle, gorgeous little leaf, beautiful new growth on these ones. And last one, and then we'll whip around the corner, celery top pine. Now the celery top pine gets its name because the leaves look exactly like the stick of celery that you get at the supermarket. And they use that for the masts on the ships and also the decking. So you can see how naturally straight they grow. And also, remember Grandma's geraniums that flowered all year round in those baskets that got very dusty? That's what this feels like. And you'll notice that each plant in here has its own adaptation to survive the harsh weather that they used to in Antarctica. So this feels like plastic. Now, I've just told you another big fib because these aren't leaves. They're modified stems. The leaves on here are actually these little tiny triangular shaped. Wow. They're the actual leaves there to protect them. So my friends, that's about it. If we get time, does anyone know what horizontal is? Heard of horizontal?
Yes. Horizontal scrub.
Yeah.
Yeah, bush you can't get through.
Yeah, I've got an example of that to show you if you're interested. We'll keep walking and talking. We've got a small group.
I won't go there.
No, we'll go without me, but maybe not you.
They know you so well.
Now, for those of you interested in the whitey wood, to see how similar the seeds are, if you have a look here, and this is very rare with orange lemon seeds, they'll actually drop their seeds. So these are the pods, and you can see how close they look to when you used to cut your orange horizontally. I mean, we're breeding the seeds out, although we don't genetically modify anything. Yeah, but they're the seeds. So you can really put the leaves, the seeds, the flowers together to realise early citrus. I sometimes wish I could have sweet water and everything ready for you.
You're heading back to the boat now.
Dry.
And 2 types of robins. And another bird that I can't find anywhere. And then they go back to the farm. That's why they're This is like, let's just say, yes, what we used to call the drive-in cinema when we were kids. Now, my friends, horizontal scrub. It's basically, with a horizontal, it only likes growing to a bit bigger than a broomstick, then it naturally bends over. So you can see that here. This bit here I like to show people because this crisscrossing, you can actually visually see in another 5-10 years time, once this bit here is covered in leaf litter, if you're walking from the bush from inside out, you could easily think that you were on the forest floor. But then when you look down, you're 1 to 2 metres off the ground. So you can see why the railway workers on the Wilderness Railway cut nearly all of it out. They did not like it at all. So this one is mainly whitey wood and horizontal, but it gives you a really good idea of that platform happening, and you can easily visualise it. I'd say it's better to be rain or wind than that.
Beautiful. Get beautiful leaves.
over here, we're 300 years old.
Wow. 300 years
Show you one
old.
that's 100 years old in a moment. So remembering we're talking about 1 millimetre per year,
Per year.
up to 3 millimetres a year
Yeah.
at the trunk. So that's not the height or the foliage, that's
300
here.
years old.
So
is
we're
trees.
measuring from the centre out to get an age.
Wow. Little baby is 300 years old. A baby. Must be 200 now.
Now my friends, this is my favourite HUON pine. I'll just zip over this
Ah,
really
that's
quickly.
HUON pine.
Now this is a really good example how HUON pines are very stubborn and they will not give up. So if you look at this one, we've got 2 shoots going out that way. The tree's fallen over a long time ago. Going out that way, and that way. Now instead of getting stressed
Yeah.
and bringing itself disease,
That one.
oh sorry.
It's alright, you're right.
So this one here about 100 years old.
Wow.
But
Hey.
have a look. So this one has had
So
the
big.
water wash, or the soil washed away from the roots from previous boats and that, which is why they
100
stopped
years
that
old.
wave action.
So
It's
little.
fallen over, it's been cut. Is it diseased at all? Not a dot anywhere. It'll send up these suckers. Have a look at this root system here. This one here. Follow it through. And remember what we were chatting about with the cloning? Can you see all of those HUON pines heading back to the water? That is actually that tree. This is a defense mechanism. So if that dies, I'm still alive here. The same with this root system. You can see it coming out here, and there's quite substantial HUON pines coming off this root system here, which is technically that tree. So amazing stuff. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll head back to the boat.
Yes.
Feels weird having a small group.
Thank you.
Nervous and self-conscious.
You did a good job.
I can show you another bigger celery top too if you like. I would love to.
You've got to like look at it for like 25 minutes to figure out where you want to.
I would love to spend a couple of days in here just taking it all in. Because there's so much in here that I'm still discovering.
We're heading back to
So
the boat
you can see
now.
with this older celery top pine, when it naturally loses its limbs, it heals itself, which makes it a perfect timber for the masts on the ships. So the more they grow up, they lose the bottom limbs, they self-heal, and you can see all these all the way up. It's good stuff.
We're just heading to the boat now.
You sleep flat, your water runs through, you convert. Yeah. Paddle around in yourself. You have an interest
Thank you for watching. Well, until next time, time to go. The most highly protected
From there,
trees
wandering around the bush,
you
back each
I tree I've ever heard.
and just got the bug for it. Also, my